Hello people, this is Eric Cobra.
And Rana Naraja.
And Warlord 1.
And Givenir. And just sick or tired of Fundy say the darn thing so.
I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought and I was going to introduce something. The fuck were you talking about?
Well, that's what we usually talk about. Now we're going to play a role-playing game instead.
Yeah, in any case, I should probably explain this is Let's Play Lone Wolf Blind. And why are we here? That's what I was going to explain before I was suddenly interrupted. See, the thing is, we were originally going to play a co-op game together. But here's where things kind of went, where I kind of made a mistake. See, I looked around for a cheap co-op game, because monies, and I stumbled across Rayman Origins and listened to the trailer and looked at the product information page, and Steven were all like, it's a fun co-op game where people can jump in and out without stopping the play, and that sounded like a good idea. One thing I didn't notice was that out in the side, a bit down, was a little notice that it was local co-op, so yeah. And unfortunately, by the time I figured it out, I already convinced Rana to not only lend me money to buy the game, but also buy the game himself. Oops, and I will admit I don't feel good about that, so I promised him to pay him back. But that means money is an issue at this point, and I thought of this, Lone Wolf, a series of choose-your-own adventure books that's been put on the net for free, with the blessings of the author. Of course, that does mean there will be some text, some pictures, and a lot of us talking, so, well, think of this kind of like a podcast. If you could listen to us talk and have fun for a while, then this shouldn't be a problem, but if not, well, there's not that much more to come for. So, you can leave again if you want. It's okay, this is not for everyone, but we have to fill out with something, because, well, not because of anything, but because I want to make things and contribute to my channel all the time. And I drag these three with us. And for once with our co-op, we actually have Givenir with us, so that's nice. So yeah, this is a choose-your-own adventure, fantasy setting, sword and sorcery, you know the drill. And it's the first book from the Kai series of the books, called Flight from the Dark. So, let's begin.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so let's begin with this story so far. In the northern land of Sommerlund, it has been the custom for many centuries to send the children of the warrior lords to the monastery of Kai. There, they are taught the skills and disciplines of their noble fathers.
Why can't the fathers teach them at home?
Because they cannot give them a comprehensive education like the Kai can, I guess.
Good point.
The Kai monks are masters of their art, and the children in their charge love and respect them, in spite of the hardships of their training. For one day, when they have finally learned the secret skills of the Kai, they will return to their homes equipped in mind and body to defend themselves against the constant threat of war from the Dark Lords of the West. You know they're the evil guys because they're called Dark Lords.
Yeah. Why is dark evil? I never got that.
Neither did I, but that's what they call themselves. In olden times, during the age of the Black Moon.
That?
I think so. Okay, yeah.
Apparently I've completely stopped giving a shit, eh?
Yeah, but anyway, during the age of the Black Moon, the Dark Lords waged war on Sommerlund. The conflict was a long and bitter trial of strength that ended in victory for the Sommerlending at the great battle of Moken Gorge. King Ul... What?
The place is called Sommerlund?
Yep, and the people there are called the Sommerlending.
Ah, that sounds so Danish.
Yeah, apparently a lot of the names for the good guys were inspired by Nordic names. Just keep listening. King Ulnar and the allies of Doranor broke the Dark Lord armies at the pass of Moitura and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of Moken Gorge. Vashna, the mightiest of the Dark Lords, was slain upon the sword of King Ulnar, called Sommersverd, the Sword of the Sun.
Ah, neat.
Since that age, the Dark Lords have vowed vengeance upon Sommerlund and the House of Ulnar. Now it is in the morning of the Feast of Fehmarn, when all of the Kai Lords are present at the monastery for the celebrations. Suddenly, a great black cloud came from out of the western skies. So many are the numbers of the black winged beast that fill the sky that the sun is completely hidden. The Dark Lord's ancient enemy, the Dark Lords, sorry, there was a comma there, ancient enemy of the Summerlending are attacking. War has begun. On this fateful morning, you, Silent Wolf, the name given to you by the Kai, have been sent to collect firewood in the forest as a punishment for your inattention in class.
Wow.
As you
Okay, so you're a bad. So we're playing as a bad student, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep. As you are preparing to return, you see to your horror a vast cloud of black leathery creatures swoop down and engulf the monastery, dropping the
Wait.
wood.
Leathery creatures.
Yep.
That's the worst description I have heard in a long time. Sounds like they're
leathery
flying
creatures.
sheets.
Sounds like the main characters from the Sex and the City movies.
Okay.
Well,
Dro-
sounds like leathery creatures. That's pretty much them, isn't it?
I'll take your word for it. Dropping the wood.
I'll start squeaking about shoes and sex in a couple of minutes.
The next sentence didn't help then. Dropping the wood.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
You race to the battle that has already begun, but in the unnatural dark, you stumble and strike your head on a low tree branch.
Ow.
Good job.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
As you lose consciousness, the last thing that you see in the poor light are the walls of the monastery crashing to the ground. So you're not only a bad student, you can also be beat up by a stationary tree.
And the wolf can fly, apparently. I did not know that.
Many hours pass before you awake. With tears in your eyes, you now survey the scene of destruction. Raising your face to the clear sky, you swear vengeance on the Dark Lords for the massacre of the Kai warriors. And with a sudden flash of realization, you know what you must do. You must set off on a perilous journey to the capital city to warn the king of the terrible threat that now faces his people. For you are now the last of the Kai. You are now the Lone Wolf. Good luck!
Aha.
Okay, so
Beautiful. Okay, this is a bit random, but when he hit his head on the tree, I kind of imagine a scene right out of Looney Tunes. Comic book sound effects and all. With cartoon sound effects and all that.
Yeah, two symbols going together and then he collapses.
Yeah.
Oh, and one thing I should note to the viewers out there, due to protection of identity, I cannot show you the Skype box, and I will sometimes have to go to the Skype box because I have to send them the pictures that sometimes pop up. So sometimes I'll just have to quickly stop the video and start again, just so you know why I will do that, and I won't have to explain myself. Okay, so it's time to find out your combat skill and endurance.
okie dokie.
So first, roll the die and add 10 to it.
15.
Alright, 15 is your combat skill.
Hold on.
Givenir has the dice, Rana keeps track of things.
Yeah.
Aye, aye.
Are we
Okay.
going to break more armies? Because that's really weird.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, what?
It said that some of the earlier good guys broke an army and forced it back into the abyss.
Ah, okay, like that. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to do that. First of all, you have to learn how to not get knocked on your ass by trees, I'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And then we basically have to whoop more ass than Sauron when he's pissed off.
yeah. In any case, did you get the number, Rana?
Combat skill, 15. Aye, aye.
Next is endurance. That is basically life, so if you want to keep calling it that, that's okay with me. Roll the die and add 20.
30.
Nice.
30 plus 20 is 50.
No, I have added.
What?
I have added.
She already have added, so you...
Alright.
30.
30, okay, fine.
Yeah. So that's nice. And if you go down to 0, you of course lose.
Alright.
So, yeah, you'll be keeping an eye on that. And there are the Kai disciplines. And you may pick 5 from the following list. Camouflage, That is not just, covering out in the wilderness. It also means that if you're in a city, you can camouflage yourself by looking like somebody who belongs there.
That sounds useful. What else is there?
Hunting. That means that not only can you stalk your prey, whatever that may be, it also means when out in the wilderness, you will not have to eat your own supplies to stay alive, because you can forage and hunt.
Oh.
Okay. That also sounds kind of useful.
Then there's the sixth sense. At certain times, you will be able to use your sixth sense to get a warning or a sense of something that may provide a hint on how to not die.
My spidey sense is tingling.
Exactly. Then there's tracking. That's basically what it sounds like. It's being able to follow tracks and such.
Isn't that covered by hunting?
No, because hunting is when you have found something and want to sneak up on it. Tracking is being able to follow, footsteps and such. Then there's healing. It means that for every numbered section, you recover 1 endurance, unless that numbered section includes a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's weapon skill. Means that you roll for a random weapon, and when you wield that weapon, you get +2 to weapon skill. A combat skill, I mean.
That sounds useful, if you ask me.
Yeah, but it kind of and you can have 2 weapons at a time. So yeah. Then there's Mind Shield. Protects you against psychic attacks from the Dark Lord's forces. They're the usually ones who have Mind Blast, as it's called.
Okay, this is a bit difficult to choose.
And then there's Mind Blast, that basically makes you able to attack with Psychic Force. It gives you +2 to combat skill unless target is immune, and one will be informed. Then there's Animal Kinship, that allows you to communicate and understand animals to some degree. And then there's Mind Over Matter, that's basically limited telekinesis. It only covers small objects, but you can move them with the power of concentration. So,
Sweet.
5 of those.
5 of those.
Yep, there's 10 and you may pick 5. And if you complete the book, you may pick another one at the start of the next. Kind of like leveling up.
I think we should have a sixth sense. That sounds good.
If we have the one called hunting, we won't have to worry about supplies.
At least not unless you're out in the wasteland, for example, where it's really hard to find anything.
Yeah, because I mean, I've recently been rereading The Hobbit, and actually the most consistent problem of the main characters in that book is actually just getting food.
It can be a big problem. And if you don't have food when you need it, you will lose health. So
I think they're actually very useful.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
The Sixth Sense, and what do I
hunting.
write in the...
hunting.
Okay, hunting.
I think we should have healing too.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes sense.
It'll give you a bit of a Wolverine power. It's not that fast, but over time it can add up a lot.
Okay, and Mind Over Matter and Mind Shield.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe we should take that weapon something skill, but yeah, those two would also be very useful. I think, yeah, let's take them.
Okay.
Just give me a moment. I just need to add the skills, the Sixth Sense, and the healing factor.
Yep.
And I allowed myself to take something from your description, Warlord, and I basically wrote under the Sixth Sense, kind of like the Spidey Sense.
It is very much like that. And the last two were Mind Shield and Mind Over Matter. Was that correct?
Yep.
Let me see. Mind Shield.
Unless you wanna switch Mind Over Matter for the ability to hack around with a giant sword, Rana.
Well, I like hacking things with large swords.
Yeah, but remember, weapon skill is a bit random. It depends on what the Kai Lord decides to train you in. So...
But okay, maybe Mind Shield is for the better. Hold on. Let me see if I can come up with something. Yeah, okay, Mind Shield. Basically anti-internet.
And you remembered that they also picked mind over matter, right?
Yeah, mind over matter is the next thing I'm writing.
Okay, and everyone agree on this list?
Yeah.
Yep, it sounds, well, I just started picking, so.
Okay, mind over matter was the semi-telekinesis.
Yeah, it's not like you can throw a building at someone, but it's small stuff. But that can be important enough.
Oh, it will come. It will come. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, mind over matter, and then we had one last skill we could pick left.
No, that you had 5, and the 5 have been picked.
Hold on, I have been writing down the sixth sense, healing, mind shield, mind over matter, and what did I miss?
Hunting.
Hunting. Okay, hold on. I will put it down here. Hunting.
You know, so we don't run out of food.
Okay.
Right.
I will just be writing says it all.
Okay. And now we can take a look at what equipment you start with. First of all, you start dressed in the green tunic and cloak of a Kai initiate.
Hold on.
It doesn't do anything, so you don't have to write it down if you don't want to. It just, like, so you don't think you start naked.
Ugh.
What the fuck were we doing in that forest?
Dropping your wood, apparently.
What the fuck are we doing in that school?
Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of thing, folks. Get used to it. But no, you have clothes.
Well, we were collecting wood apparently first. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Let me see. Okay, I have been writing it down. I have basically been going equipment, Kai basic outfit, green tunic, cloak, etc. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And you also start with a weapon, an axe. Probably for chopping wood, I'd imagine.
Or basically because we have an axe to grind.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was because we were gonna be axe crazy, but hey.
Okay, I need to ask maybe.
Well, that too.
I need to ask. Is it a one-handed or two-handed axe?
It just says an axe, so I would guess it's a one-handed one.
Yeah, we had it out for wood. You use 2 hands for most axes when you chop wood, but you can wield it with 1 hand.
Okay, one-handed axe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually a pretty good description.
Okay, hold on. I was just going to say, okay. One-handed axe, shaft, blade, cuts trees.
Yeah. And remember, you can only have 2 weapons at a time, so if you pick up more, you'll have to decide which ones to throw away.
Yeah. Even Adventure Books starting to have that lane 2 weapon rule.
And you know what? This was produced in the 80s, so it's actually long before the shooter genre took it up.
Oh dear.
And you have a backpack which can contain 10 items, but any number of meals. So that's a small mercy from them. And you already have from the start 1 meal.
So we can only carry like 10 coins or something.
I'm sorry, what?
If we pick up money, how much? Can we only carry 10 coins?
No, you have a pouch for that, not the backpack.
Okay, let me see if I can get it right and it would stop correctly my grammar.
The hell just happened to the sound quality?
No idea.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with the sound quality. It should return at some point, hopefully.
Just give me 2 seconds and I will get this corrected over here. Okay, fine. And we had what was it? Was it a backpack or something you mentioned?
You have a backpack which has space for 10 items.
Okay,
And can hold any number of meals.
okay.
And you start
Backpack.
with, yeah.
10 items plus any number of meals.
Yeah. And you start with 1 meal. I trust you will keep an eye on how many items and such you have, Rana. So do tell whenever you go over the limit in any category, because then you'll have to decide what to leave behind.
Yes, sir.
And you also have a belt pouch. which can hold up to 50 coins.
Let me see. Belt pouch. Up to 50 coins.
Yep. Also, Givenir, would you roll the dice to see how many gold crowns you start with?
Okay.
And no, yeah, okay, and it's not crowns, it's just what the local money is called.
Just like doing that. It sounds really weird when you say Danish word into an English sentence.
Yep. And for those who couldn't understand that, she basically said that crowns is also the name of all local monetary coins. It's just in English. A currency, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. And you also find a map.
A map.
Yep, I'll be sending you the picture in just a moment.